The wind howled through the narrow pass like a warning from the gods. Between the towering cliffs of Mount Calidromos and the dark, restless sea, a thin strip of land stretched like a blade's edge. This place was called Thermopylae, the hot gates. Steam rose from the earth, and sulfur hung in the air. The ground itself seemed to breathe. It was here that fate chose to write a legend. Far to the north, the earth trembled beneath the march of the greatest army the world had ever seen. Xerxes, king of kings, ruler of Persia, lord of countless nations, advanced with an army so vast it swallowed the horizon. Soldiers from every corner of the empire marched beneath golden banners. Medes, Persians, Assyrians, Egyptians, warriors in silk and bronze, steel and leather. They came like a living storm. Villages emptied, cities surrendered without a fight. Messengers ran ahead of the army, spreading terror before the soldiers even arrived. The message was simple: bow or be erased. But Greece did not kneel, and Sparta did not bow. King Leonidas stood at the mouth of the pass, his red cloak snapping in the wind. Around him stood 300 Spartans, not boys, not recruits, but warriors forged by hunger, discipline, and pain. Each man had a family. Each man had sons. Each man knew he would not return. They were not there to win. They were there to hold. Behind them, other Greek forces gathered. Thespians, Thebans, allies from small city-states. But it was the Spartans who formed the wall. Bronze shields locked together, spears angled forward, armor scarred from battles long past. Leonidas looked at his men. No speeches, no poetry, no promises of glory, just one truth. This is where we stopped them when the Persian army arrived. The earth darkened with their shadows. Xerxes watched from a golden throne set on a hill. Confident, untouchable, amused, he sent a messenger forward. "Lay down your weapons," the man called, his voice echoing through the pass. "Submit to the great king, and you will live." Leonidas stepped forward. His reply was calm, simple, eternal. "Molin Labe, come and take them." The message reached Xerxes, and the war began. The first wave came fast. Persian infantry rushing forward in mass formation, expecting fear, expecting collapse. They found a wall. Spartan shields slammed together like thunder. Spears drove forward in perfect rhythm. Bronze pierced flesh. Men fell screaming. Blood soaked into the dust. The narrow pass became a trap. Persian numbers meant nothing here. They could not surround. They could not flank. They could only come forward, and every step forward cost them lives. Hour after hour, wave after wave crashed against the Spartan line. The Spartans fought with discipline, not rage. They rotated the front line. Wounded men fell back. Fresh warriors stepped forward. Spears broke. They switched to swords. Swords shattered. They fought with shields. Shields splintered. They fought with hands. The sea turned red. The rocks grew slick with blood. Bodies piled so high that the Persians had to climb over their dead to keep fighting. Xerxes watched in disbelief. This was impossible. They were supposed to break. They did not. Then came the immortals, Persia's elite guard. 10,000 warriors in black armor, faces hidden, weapons polished, feared across the known world. They advanced in silence. Leonidas did not move. The Spartans did not retreat. When the immortals struck, the pass exploded into chaos. Steel rang on bronze. Screams cut through the steam-filled air. Shields shattered. Helmets cracked. Men fought face to face, breath to breath, blood to blood. And still, the line held. The immortals fell like the others. Not because the Spartans were many, but because they were unbreakable. For 2 days, Persia bled. For 2 days, the greatest empire on earth was stopped by a few hundred men in a narrow pass of rock and steam. But legends rarely end in victory. They end in sacrifice. A traitor named Defied came to Xerxes in the night. He revealed a hidden mountain path, a way around the pass, a way behind the Spartan line. At dawn, Leonidas received the news. Persia was behind them. The trap had closed. There would be no escape. Leonidas gathered his men. Some of the Greek allies were ordered to leave, not in shame, not in fear, but in survival. History would need witnesses. The Spartans stayed. So did the Thespians. So did a few who chose death over memory. Leonidas looked at his warriors, men who had trained since childhood for one purpose, to die standing. He spoke quietly, not as a king, not as a commander, but as a brother. And when the Persians came from both sides, the Spartans charged, not retreated, not defended. They charged. The final battle was not a formation. It was not a strategy. It was fury. Leonidas fell under a storm of arrows and blades. His men fought over his body. They fought with broken weapons, with bare hands, with teeth, with rage, with loyalty. They fought until the ground disappeared beneath the dead, until the air was thick with smoke and blood, until the sun vanished behind dust and ash. And when their weapons were gone, they used their bodies. And when their bodies failed, they used their will, until there was nothing left. When it was over, silence filled the pass. Not victory's silence, not peace, but reverence. Thousands of Persians lay dead. 300 Spartans did not exist anymore, but something else did. A story, a symbol, a legend that would outlive empires. On a stone near the battlefield, the Greeks carved words for the ages. Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws, we lie. Thermopylae was not a victory. It was something greater. The Spartans did not stop Persia forever, but they showed the world something immortal. That a small force, standing for something greater than life, can shake an empire. And sometimes, the greatest victory is choosing to stand. When the whole world expects you to fall, subscribe and like for more stories.